Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Driven, where I do athlete stories and industry professional stories. If you're new here, you came to the right episode because today I have a familiar face with him. You probably know him, Jayden Blugh, who also does a Ball Over the Top podcast with me. So you probably heard from him, but you probably don't know where he comes from or what his background is. So today we're gonna unwrap that in this episode of Driven.
Yes.
How are you?
I am doing well, and I'm excited to be on a Driven episode. Actually, I've been seeing you produce them and release them out, and excited to have my own one for sure.
Thank you, thank you. Why did you choose sport management? What kind of led you through it? And also tell me about a little bit of your sports background as well. Growing up, what you played and everything, and then tell me why you chose Humber.
Okay, nice. This sounds like more of a reverse timeline, but I'm down for it.
Mm-hmm.
So, graduating from high school, it was a interesting journey because I had to work alongside a lot with the guidance counselor, and I wanted to decide something revolved around sports because that's always been my passion. That's always been something I was interested in. So after realizing this, I'm like, okay, I need something sport related. So I ended up doing a lot of research on the different programs. But for some reason, there was only one program I found early on, which was a German program. But the problem was that was way too far of a distance because I'm a Toronto, North York boy.
Mm-hmm.
But after doing further research, I found the Humber program. And I'm like, wow, there's a whole bunch of different lanes you could go down in this program called sport management, similar to the other program, because sport management decided was what I wanted to do eventually, right? So I'm like, I'm good at business, and then it has the sports also incorporated. So that has to be it. But what really sealed my ticket to Humber, I guess you could say, was when I went to the orientation and I saw all the different connections they had,
Mm-hmm.
how the environment was good, and even ended up making a whole like a core group of 4 friends on the day, including myself. So we were just like instead of 3 musketeers, we were 4 musketeers on that day, and I realized, okay, this was this was a school, this was the program for me, and I think I'm gonna make a wise decision by choosing this. And it ended up going great as well because one of the main school colors is blue, and last name is Blue, so
That's
it
fair.
just fit
That's
accordingly.
true.
Ever since around the age of 7, or maybe even earlier, I was definitely on and off with playing soccer. Some people call it football, just going out always in the yard in the
Yeah,
recess.
sorry to cut you off. You mean some people call it soccer
Yeah, some
because
people.
it's called football?
Yeah, no, no. I just have to. For me, I usually call it football, but since we're in North America, I know I have to change and
That's
say
fair.
it's soccer, so that's why it's all over. But for me, it's usually football as well. To be fair. But yeah, I've always loved sports growing up. I remember even when I was in the living room with the family, I would say commentate on these different players and passing around the ball. So I'd be like, let's say Maris to Vardy shoots, he
Mm-hmm.
scores, and
Yeah,
just
yeah.
doing that, doing that for fun. So it's been a passion of mine. I grew up with sports. I have a background in sports with all the family. As a matter of fact, one of my uncles, he was a famous manager in the islands. He even has a trophy back home with it. So we
Mm-hmm.
still have it to this day. So
It
sports
kind of
has
runs
always
in the
been a part of
family.
me. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
definitely.
That always helps, and like just like you said, like I kind of started it like that as well. Like in my case, it was cricket.
Mm.
Like with my friends and stuff, I used to do like lots of talks of cricket. Like we used to make different kind of teams. Like even in soccer, like I have one friend, like he just got married, so
Oh
congratulations.
wow, congrats.
But not married, but he just got engaged. So
Oh, nice.
yeah, so we used to uh, get around together, and then we like make up teams like with positions and blah blah blah. So like
Mm.
it always like kind of relates and like kind of links you to the sport, and like sport has always been part of my life too, and that's
Mm.
why I chose Humber. You've been here for 2 years
Yeah.
now. Do you think that what you thought when you entered Humber, the Humber is kind of living up to its expectation? And with we also did the London trip, and with everything going on together, you can also give us a little bit of an input on London trip and what you felt about it too.
I think if anything, it surpassed my expectations
Mm-hmm.
because when I even before going to college, I wanted to have a different mentality in terms of being more open minded and being able to go out and express myself and even do projects such as this. Because I know a lot of time for me growing up, I was really shy and to myself. But now I've tried to take as much steps
You
forward.
shy? Oh, no, 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 no.
I know it's hard to believe with all of these vocal and expressive projects I'm doing, but yes, I was once that shy kid in the corner. But going back to the question itself, I think it definitely has because I'm learning about all of these different courses and different parts of the sport industry that I didn't know previously, or even enhancing my knowledge of things I knew about, but not to this degree. For example, one of the courses this semester is sporting goods, and I didn't realize how much revenue was even in an industry like that. So,
Mm-hmm.
opening my eyes to different things like that. And even last semester, when taking sport marketing, that was a course that I really enjoyed. And he even showed me a light to who knows, I could potentially take that as a career pathway.
Mm-hmm.
And then speaking to the London trip, honestly, unforgettable experience. It's going to be something definitely hard to top. I think one of my top five life experiences, even as a whole, bonding with you and so many others in the trip. For this is a little of an inside side lore for our viewers. We had something called the London 15.
Mm-hmm.
We got this band of 15 of us. We were going on trips, adventures, doing the whole
Mm-hmm.
galore.
Yeah.
So
And it was like instant, huh? The first
exactly.
day,
I
like,
know.
yeah, we
Everybody was
just
just
clicked.
bonding together. It was just a sign of true friendship, clearly, and we really made the most out of that trip. And I'm glad we did because I always say when you go on a trip like that, you're not supposed to be inside. You're supposed to go outside,
Mm-hmm.
go out, be adventurous, and I'm glad we did that.
With all that, you're also doing part-time job,
Yeah,
right? You're also working as volunteer
yeah.
in different fields of sports industry as well.
Mhm.
Take me through your week, kind of like how do you balance your time out right now with college going on, with your work, with your volunteer shifts? You're also volunteering with FIFA, which is
Y-
coming to Toronto.
Yeah.
Are you excited about that?
Wonderful. A million percent. Actually, a matter of fact, I can't even put a number on that. Just wow.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy to think this is a one in a million, maybe one in a billion experience having the FIFA World Cup in your country, in your city
Mm-hmm.
is amazing. And you talk about balance. I know me in particular, I've been even trying to get even better at time management. I recently talked to one of the best time management people I know. And one of the biggest suggestions was even getting a calendar to write down all of the things you want to do on it. So I made a
Mm-hmm.
major investment there in terms of getting the calendar and starting to write down all of my dates. But
Mm-hmm.
on a regular though, my week is more chill than most people realize because one of the things that I like to do for the most part is get the schoolwork out of the way. The only reason why submission sometimes for me is like 3 days before the deadlines because I want to make sure I do my checkovers, want to make sure it's looking looking good. That's one of the things I feel like I've definitely focused on is that attention to detail
Mm-hmm.
because most of the time the way I treat this program is it's going to be a transferable thing in the workplace. So if you
Mm-hmm.
take that time to have that attention detail to your assignments, you're gonna do the same thing in the real world and in the workplace. Have that attention to detail to any task you do. So when I do a task, I want to try to make sure I do it to the best of the abilities, just like I would in the workplace.
Mm-hmm. Where do you work right now?
I work for Elevation Athletics and as a basketball coach.
Okay.
Yeah.
So again, two different jobs, two different responsibilities.
Yeah.
Take me through just in brief, like I just want to know, like, what's your role? I know coaching basketball is simple, like
No, no, all
you
good.
have to, but it also, like, I coach swimming, like
Yeah.
I coach soccer, like
Mm,
every sport is different. Every everything that goes into a sport is different.
mhm.
Take me through that position and then kind of compare it to your other position at athletics, in athletics, like
Mm.
how do you do that and how do you perform that role?
Well, when I go to basketball coach, I believe one of the most important mindsets I have, or one of the most important thoughts I have at the forefront of my mind is, okay, make sure the kids have fun.
Mm-hmm.
And once I accomplish that, one and I go to do the basketball training, I think that's my job accomplished in a sense, because we're realizing at a very young age there's a high dropout rate. Everybody knows this stat. At the age of 13, 70% of kids drop out. So I want to make sure I have a major impact on the kids, making sure they have fun. So whether that be doing different activities and while mixing up the drills, just
Mm-hmm.
things like that to keep it energized and fun. I know especially with the younger kids I teach, we focus more on the games while still
Mm-hmm.
incorporating the basketball, just because we want to make sure it's still a fun environment for them and not just doing drills like, okay, go shoot, go pass. Because if we continue to do that, then they'll start to drop out even more.
And they
Eh,
don't even have like the brain power to understand all that in the, like, one
Exactly.
setting. So
Exactly. So try not to force too much on them at such a young age. Then, in comparison to my other roles, I'm sure it's maybe a hint to the volunteering. The volunteering, especially, that's where it becomes even more of a personal thing, in terms of I'm the one being the energized and being fun. I do the same thing with the kids, but now it's me hyping up
mm.
myself and being that energizer bunny for others. Because when I go and volunteer, I believe it's making a major impact on the community. Because anything you could do to make the world better, in my
Mm-hmm.
opinion, is positive, right? Because we live in a world so oppressed, it seems
Yeah,
like times, and so down. The rate of the depression is so
especially
high.
with everything's going on around the
E-
world.
exactly, so much going on, right? So for me, as much as possible, of course, just like any other human being, I have my down days, but as much as possible, try to keep that upbeat and positive energy in everything I do. So yeah.
And it's a great opportunity as well to get into the industry. Like everywhere
Mm-hmm.
you go, everywhere you see, like everyone says, like, oh, if you don't get a job, volunteer for it.
Yeah.
Show your skills first, and then they will automatically hire you for that job as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. No.
So volunteering is great. Did you ever think that you're gonna start a podcast
No.
before starting it
No.
already?
No, I
You're
did.
just one day here with sitting with us. And you're just speaking about sports on the camera, and it's online now. Okay, it's there forever.
Exactly. No, I did not, honestly. When you even proposed the idea, I was like, yeah, this is a sick idea. And even, man, shout out to this guy, because he's come up with so many creative ideas. It's crazy. Yeah. One day I would see this guy guy at a facility. Next day I'm seeing this guy posting online. I'm like, oh my goodness, how does this guy do it? But no, I would never thought I would started a podcast, to be honest. Just because, as I said, having such a reserved character and growing up, and to go there and speaking online. And even now, I'll be honest, I'm not even the most social media person. That's
Mm-hmm.
that's why I always just tell, whenever I tell people, oh, I don't have Instagram, they're like, what, this guy's an anomaly or something like that. But yeah, the simple answer is no, but that's the explanation
Mm.
on top of it.
How did it help you coming out of your comfort zone, and w- how is it currently helping you to, like, maybe build your portfolio, maybe getting more creative ideas, or like maybe what you want to do in the future? How is it helping you currently doing a podcast with us?
Yeah, definitely. There's different areas of sport for sure. I was even watching, ironically enough, the Sarah episode where you guys were talking about mental health. I think something that's definitely important, and I'm glad to see that it's become a bigger focus more and more as time went on, because it's an underrated part of the game. We have to be not only strong physically but also mentally, and what people don't realize is all these athletes are human at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
So when you receive all that potentially like online hate or backlash from fans, we have to realize that we're attacking humans at the end of the day. We can't just come out here and say whatever we want. A lot of people think just because they're hiding behind the screen, it's okay to say something like that, when
Mm.
it's really not, right? Because again, humans.
Yeah.
But even other areas, I was talking to somebody, they said they had an interest in sports nutrition. I was like, wow, that's something that you don't necessarily hear about.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely have an interest of topics outside of the regular sportsy ones. I say one of my biggest, this is a interest I usually hold close to my heart, but I'll expose it out there for the one time. I do poetry, so I usually write my poems in my spare time or whenever I have a interesting idea. So that's also one of my mechanisms to calm myself down at times, or really it's become a hobby. I remember the first ever poem I wrote was all the way in 2019. I
Mm-hmm.
believe it was October, November of 2019, and ever since then I continued with it because my music teacher was like, yeah, that's some good stuff right
Mm.
there. So it really encouraged me to continue it and pursue that avenue. So I think that would be a definite major one outside of sports. And to be honest, I like writing in general because I believe it's a great way to express your ideas. You express yourself through words because sometimes you're thinking of things, or when you speak out loud, it may not come out the way you want it to.
Mm.
So writing it down is an easier way for me to refocus. And then I think another one of your points was how the transition from shy and breaking out of your shell. I think for me, again, it's the biggest thing is definitely communicating, because I know for myself in the first year, I never thought I would have gone up to so many people and just spark a conversation, which is something I would definitely wouldn't have done in the past. So just going up and sparking that conversation and having that extra confidence to go out and speak to a whole bunch of different people, I think that's the biggest impact my transition from shy guy to a
Mm.
talkative guy
And
has done.
then, without his permission, we made him a class rep. And then we also made him do a podcast. And then he was also recording Instagram reels and TikTok reels for activation booths. So yeah, like he was here and like now he's like here.
No, that's funny.
Going, you're
Thanks,
growing
thanks.
too fast, man.
Thanks for the hyping up.
Doing the podcast, starting the sport business management. That's me, not you. Sport management. How that kind of relates to how you see sports now than you saw sports before.
Honestly see it in a whole different light, because I remember in sport marketing, one of our quote unquote mini assignments for the week was watch the Blue Jays World Series and take a note of all the different sponsors.
Mm.
And when I watched it in that light, I saw it in a whole different perspective, because I'm watching the Seattle Mariners in Jersey, and I'm seeing, so it wouldn't be the World Series, but the playoffs in general. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Seeing the Seattle Mariners and their little patch of the Nintendo Switch. I'm seeing, taking note of the TD in the bank. So seeing all these different sponsors is not a way I would look at it. So now I'm thinking in the back of my mind, even advanced like that. Like, why is that sponsor positioned here? Why is
Mm.
it positioned there? Is it because the sponsor gives the team more money? Is it to show it more off to the fans? So I'm thinking in a whole different light. I have not only the sport mind now, but also the business aspect of it. So now going forward, let's say hypothetically, I own a business. Where would I want to, let's say, put my sponsor?
Mm.
Of course, you would want it in the front, but I would have to know that I would have to pay extra money for it being big and bold in the
Mm-hmm.
front, right? Because you would be the main sponsor.
Yeah.
Or do you want it to at least be recognizable, so you put it on the sleeves? So I think that's something that's definitely changed. I'm thinking even more of a business perspective. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why it's called sport management, right? Combining the sport and the business side of things. So I think that's definitely how my thinking has changed. One of these days we have to do a reverse one. We have to do an episode on you. So
On me.
if you need a reverse driven episode, I'm volunteering to be the host for that one.
Well, all the viewers and listeners, comment if you want to see me coming to my podcast and interviewed by someone else. We'll do a reverse episode if the public demands.
But, man, flood the comments.
Flood the comments and subscribe. Oh, actually, like we talked about Humber so much, Humber should give me a sponsorship for this episode. If Humber, I'm gonna tag Humber. Humber, if you're listening, sponsor me. Let's talk about your future plans. Like, have you thought about what you're gonna do after finishing college? Do you want to do a master's, maybe, or do you wanna straight get into the industry? Do you have any plans? Where do you wanna work? Talk me through it.
Honestly, my main goal going into the program and being in the program has definitely shifted. I remember going into the program, I was set in stone being a professional soccer/football scout, right? But now entering the program, I'm realizing that may not necessarily be the avenue I want to go down in, because I watch the games and I obviously love writing, but I realized that I don't necessarily have the analytical background for it. Because I remember we were filling out an assignment of interest, and they had these whole different interests. Of course, I clicked the analytics button because I have interest of it with scouting, but I realized it's not necessarily on the top of the top of my interest, but it's still something I would be intrigued in. Other options I've definitely been considering is being a sport commentator or even going down the marketing side. Sport commentators, like I was saying earlier, being younger and even technically doing it for fun is something I've definitely been considering. And even when we did the Humber basketball series and alumni event, again another Humber mention, but that's alright. Being the being the MC, I really enjoyed it because I was doing these player intros. I was doing the different transitions in between the games. So that's definitely something I love. So I even tried to apply for a job to hopefully get in that role. We'll see what happens. Hoping for the best to get through there.
Well, I'm not sure, and it's kind of a secret right now, so I'm not gonna reveal too much. But in the future, I might need an MC, so I'm gonna
Interesting. I'll be open for
I'm gonna reach out. I'm like,
for sure.
actually, I'm just gonna see you every week because we're starting our recording from next week for Ball Over the Top. So
Preview.
sorry, did I not say that? No, I say that. We're recording again. Don't worry, it's coming soon.
Exactly. And then the third avenue, as I said before, is the marketing, because I got so much positive feedback from everyone that we did such an amazing job that I was like, maybe I should definitely consider pursuing it as a real world job. So it's definitely great for that. In terms of going forward with my education, currently I don't envision myself doing a postgrad program or going as high as the masters. My aim currently is in the third year, if you guys didn't know, is doing so well in that internship that I end up getting a role as a result of that internship. So that's definitely my main aim. And preferably, it would, of course, be in the soccer/football industry. But again, it doesn't necessarily have to be, but that would definitely be my aim, because I believe that's the industry I know the most about, and probably the industry I would be most comfortable in.
Yeah, you gooner. To be honest with you, and don't tell Kyle this, but I think they're gonna win the league.
Oh, well, we have to make him watch this episode now. We have to make him watch this episode now.
The way everyone else is playing, I think they're gonna take the league.
I will have to see. Honestly, I'm hoping for the best, because even as a fan too, we have such a long line of history over recent years of crumbling under the pressure. Right now, I'm just saying, come the end of the season, then we'll talk. Right now, I'm keeping all the thoughts, all the comments straight to myself. So then, if it then ends up happening, then that's where I'll start to go crazy. I mean, I'm not gonna take off my shirt and swing it around or anything, but
Do it on the podcast. Do it.
No, but that's when I'll start to express myself more. So that's why most of the time, whenever Kelsey says it, I'm just like, well, let's wait and see, because that's the 50-50 response. So if it goes well, I told you let's wait and see. But if it doesn't go well, I said let's wait and see.
Fair, fair. You're planning ahead. I
Exactly.
I like it. Smart move. Or you just have years of practice doing that.
Whichever way you want to put it.
Anyways, well, thank you so much for doing this episode with me.
Of course.
And yeah, this was pending for a long time.
Yep.
Because when I started thinking about doing the podcast, you were the first one that I kind of talked to and then recorded the audio with.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a full circle moment,
Definitely
but also a really good moment that we got to do this, and I got to do that with you. So thank you so much.
Of course, no worries. Honestly, thank you for having me. I enjoyed the episode, and can't wait to see myself on the big screen eventually. I might have to put this one on the TV low key, but
yeah, just gather the whole family together, have some snacks, popcorn,
Exactly.
watch your episode, and this is gonna be special. I'm gonna do some different kind of editing.
Ooh,
That's why I have 2 cameras.
but
But I hope I didn't mess it up. But
exactly,
yeah, you'll see.
Shout out to Cal. If you know.
He might be. He's been going through a lot lately, so
Yes,
we're giving him a little bit of slack. But you'll see him with the ball over the top next week, and then you'll see him maybe on this podcast as well. So
another preview potentially.
Yeah, another preview potentially, another segue. Anyways. Thank you for everyone for listening and watching this episode. If you haven't subscribed already, subscribe to my channel, Zen of the Game, on YouTube and on Spotify. I know you have Spotify, so you better do it. Well, thank you so much, everyone, and see ya.
Peace.